Aloha. This is chapter 6 of my Spirit of Parenting book, and it's called You Just Want Attention. And you know, I've changed the order of these chapters because during these times of pandemic and now protest, I am assuming that your child, and of course you too, might be needing some attention. So since the chapters are already written, I'll be mostly reading to you, but I'll be adding my thoughts as they arise. So assuming that you understand that anything I say about children also applies to you as an adult. So let's begin. The all-time worst parental cop-out must be some version of, oh, she's just doing that to get attention. Just ignore her and she'll stop. You know, this one stuns me every time. What could possibly be wrong with needing attention? We are social creatures, and we are designed to need attention. And if we don't get that attention positively, we'll do whatever it takes, but we will be noticed. So if children or adults aren't praised for being loving and smart and generous, then they'll get attention by becoming louder or becoming angrier or meaner than anyone else in the room. You know, it blows me away that if a child can't get positive attention, they'll do whatever it takes to get any attention, even negative. So if children or you adults aren't praised, then you will just keep getting louder than you were before, or angrier, or funnier, or meaner than you were before. Because ego development is so crucial, so bottom line to everything else that follows. Because one literally cannot proceed without having an identity. Every child would, of course, prefer a positive identity. But you know, sometimes good behavior often doesn't get attention if parents are being overworked or preoccupied. So a child who is quietly functional and happy, a child who expresses little in the way of needs, will be overlooked by all but the most perceptive parent or teacher. A child will often choose humiliation or a reprimand as opposed to the quiet starvation of just being ignored. We know that it's important to feed our children physically, but that's my kitty. But why is it not obvious that we must also be fed emotionally, mentally, spiritually? You know, this has been making me think about the different types of protesters. You know, some have been fed at every level, and so they state their truth in peaceful ways, with assumptions that solutions can be created. But you know, some of these people have been nourished by their families, but not by their society. And so they often express their hope and their fear with more intensity because they don't trust that they will be heard if they speak softly, if they ask quietly. And you know, there are some who have experienced such dishonoring, such pain and outrage, such grief and loss, that their request for honoring includes all of the above: pain and outrage and grief and loss. And sometimes when others are not capable of honoring their intense emotions, the only way that these people can be heard or noticed is through violence. So pay attention to your child now so that their request for attention doesn't have to turn to violence or trauma. And so I ask you, can you allow your child to express his need for attention with such tender and focused response that he or she doesn't even need to revert to anger or to violence? And even more important, do you, even during this quarantine, have people who listen to and honor you, even during such intensity and fear? And more to the point, do you listen to yourself? Are you longing for attention, for feedback, for focus? Can you honor your needs even when you don't know how to get those needs met? I've been thinking about a woman, a friend who is in a home for elderly. And since the pandemic, she hasn't been able to go out of her room, and nobody can come in her room. And so she is there processing so much, all by herself. But can you remember that it's a sign of health to want attention? And even if you can't get it right now, honor yourself for wanting it. Talk to yourself as if you were your best friend. Talk to your child as if they are your best friend. Because we're hardwired as social beings. We're born to need one another's focused attention. So please give yourself that gift. Namaste.